Pranayama practices are movements of energy through the breath work. And there's a lot of different kinds of prescriptions for this, and there's many different methods for doing this. I'm going to show you a bunch. If any of them really stick out, you're like, man, that just felt good. This is something to keep, in your toolbox as well. But if prana rides on the breath, and we can move that breath to different body parts, then in theory, we should be able to cultivate change in those body parts. Make sense? Makes sense. Okay, cool. All right. Well, you already know Ujjayi Pranayama, right? Okay. The glottis muscles restrict. It creates sound. You want to have as much length on the inhale as you do on the exhale. You want to have as much strength on the inhale. So a lot of times I hear people go, like a real strong exhale, where it should really be more balanced. It should be more just even, like a nice pentameter, not pentameter, metronome.
When you do the breath like that, is it like do you do a full breath as far as you can?
Oh yeah. So here we'll do, this is another sort of breath meditation. You can sit in the chair if you prefer. So you can sit tall or sit whatever feels comfortable. And boy, I hope I'm recording all this. Yeah, I am. All right, good. So deep inhale through the nose, deep exhale through the nose. Throat is restricted. Now on the inhale, you're going to have three parts to the breath, beginning, middle, and end, with a pause at the end of the breath. Try to find that. Inhaling, beginning, middle, end, pause. Exhaling, beginning, middle, and slightly longer pause. Inhale, find those three parts and the pause. Exhale, find those three parts and the pause. Let the breath get really balanced and even on your own. And then try to sip in a little more air on the inhale at the top of the breath and exhale a little bit more, empty out a little bit more at the bottom. And you should be now taking the fullest breath your body's capable of. Just about. Take two more. Okay. So did you feel like you're taking a full breath, Rebecca?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it should be in your practice. Or that's what you strive for. Like in a twist, well, we're not going to breathe as deeply. We're restricted. You breathe as deeply as you can in that twist. Whereas a heart opener, the inhale might be much more full, whereas as a forward fold, the exhale might be more emptying because you're compressing when you fold, right? Make sense? Okay. The stuff that we're learning today, to most yoga practitioners, this is esoteric. This is very sort of secret. Mostly yoga looks like, get your booty lifted and what's your Lululemons look like, and, get your abs and your triceps. And that's what most of America thinks yoga is anymore, right? This is very subtle, minor energy work that isn't talked about in your average yoga class. And now, with sort of the decline of your traditional brick and mortar yoga studios and things going more online and in the gyms, that they don't want all this stuff. They just want like, oh, what can I do to get my, quads looking better or whatever. So you're learning things that are a bit more authentic. I can't handle the watered down yoga as much.
But that will only enhance or
Yes.
bring that.
Yes.
So it's secretly. So that is esoteric because if any one of us are like a regular gym teaching a class, they're not going to be all about that.
No.
Outwardly.
But you might still sneak it in on them just for the heck of it. Okay, so that's Ujjayi Pranayama. The next one is called Nadi Shodhana. It's alternative nostril breathing. And this is one where you will use your hands. Now, there's a traditional mudra. Is everybody familiar with the term mudra? Yeah. So thumb and forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky, and then there's also like this, and there's all these different mudras. There's even a Tibetan mudra for the hands where you do this. Looks really weird. But the middle fingers, the raised fingers are Mount Meru, which is like the center of the universe, and all the cross fingers are the four different realms. And there's this whole thing where you sit like this and meditate on. I mean, it can get crazy. It can get really out there. And if they don't mean anything to you, they don't mean anything to you. But sometimes when we're sitting quietly and you try to just touch the different fingers, you'll find that it's like electrical connections. And sometimes the breath might come easier. And sometimes you might feel different sensations with the touch of the thumb into different fingers. It's very interesting. It's very subtle. If you're all agitated, you won't feel anything. But later on, we'll do something where we'll do this, and you'll see the differences. Sometimes in like a shavasana, I'll just I'll settle in more with one, or my breath will come easier with another. It's very interesting, but very subtle. You know, you're not going to get this from booty boot camp yoga. You know. So the mudra for this is the left hand is it's called Gyan mudra, where your thumb and forefinger together, the palm is up. The right hand, traditionally you take the forefinger and middle finger, you tuck them into the meat of your thumb, like this. But it can be really uncomfortable on the hands if you're not used to it. So an alternate, and then your ring finger would go against the nostril and your thumb, and you alternate like this, side to side. Hello. So these two fingers tuck in, the forefinger and the middle finger tuck in, the ring finger and pinky finger out, and the thumb is out. There you go. Yeah. Exactly. No, well, your ring finger you want to extend out too. Yes. So your ring finger and your thumb are the two that are gonna go side to side. Okay. If your hand doesn't do this, forefinger on the forehead, and then use your middle finger and thumb to toggle side to side. This is a lot easier on the hands for doing it. Okay. That's just another way of doing it. Okay. Okay. And there's different prescriptions for different things. The one we're going to do is inhale for a count of 4, hold for 8, then exhale out the alternate nostril for 4, pause for 2. Then we'll inhale for 4, hold for 8, exhale 4, pause for 2. And we're just going like this, back and forth. Okay? Similar to box breathing, but a little bit different. Okay? So left hand again, this goes like this on your knee, palm up. Oh, by the way, pranayama practices, different traditions are going to have different ones. Different teachers will teach it differently. I'm teaching you what my teacher taught me. He taught it, from his person, and there's just different ways of doing it. Don't be fixed on, well, it has to be this way. But if you want to get really, really nitty gritty, the book Light on Pranayama by Iyengar is very detailed. And you have to touch this part of the cartilage with this part of your finger, and you have to, it's very, very precise. Light on Pranayama. It's a heavy read, but it's going to be probably one of the Bibles on pranayama practices, and it'll have a whole thing. Like if you have asthma, if you have gastrointestinal problems, if you have heart disease, you have kidney problems, do these practices. Like it's all this medicine essentially for different aspects of what you might have going on. So the only time I say teach this is after you've done it enough to know how to do it well, had experiences for yourself where you felt something transform, and then teach it. But don't just say, well, I read it in this book one time, try this. Do it from your knowledge. Okay? How's your belly? Okay, we're going to do some Nauli Kriya too, so that'll help you with that. Okay, so You're going to block the left nostril. Inhale through the right nostril for a count of 4. So inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold both nostrils for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale out the left for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause on the out breath for 2. Inhale left for 4. Hold for 8. Exhale the right for 4. Pause for 2. That's one round. We're doing 2 more. Inhale the right. Hold. Remember, when you're inhaling, it's into the belly. Exhale left. Pause. Inhale left. Hold. Exhale right. Pause. Inhale right. Hold. Exhale left. Pause. Inhale left. Hold. Exhale right. Then you can release the hand. If you need Kleenex or something. How did that go? How did that feel? Okay, good. All right, good. Good, good, good. So you weren't planning the rest of your life on that one? Good, good. Eve, how was that for you? Okay. How did you feel after? Yeah, it clears your brain a little bit, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we'll take a pee break in a sec. Yeah. Oh, you go. No, go, 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 go. All right, real quick, honey. How'd you feel?
It was good. It's the same thing. I felt more
Okay.
awake and alert.
Okay, go pee.
I got into the break.
No, go pee. No, all right, go. How would you?
Good. My right side is definitely more open than the left.
Yeah.
And has been now.
And I'm going to explain that to everybody in a second too. Yeah. Well, y'all look like more awake. Like that was a.
Definitely noticed it one day you did it more right away.
Yeah, there's something about that, right? So if we think about it, right channel, left channel, there's something there maybe. The nostrils will dilate every 2.5 hours, one then the other, alternately. Surprisingly, this is going to sound weird, but in your nose, you have erectile tissue, which is what makes your body, sex organs do different things. That's in your nose. And those nostrils will dilate alternately, side to side, throughout the day. So one will often feel fuller or more open than the other, unless, of course, you've broken your nose, you have a deviated septum, and then you'll definitely feel that permanently. So, but that it's an interesting thing. Like you could do this in a couple of hours, and one will feel more open than the other one will, and that's totally normal.
Well, and it's fun in the straight. Like I feel like I'm like getting a stronger flow on the right side.
Yeah, that nostril's more open than the left one.
Okay.
Yeah, more flow. Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Let's take a quick 5-minute break, go potty, do whatever, and then we'll come back and do some more of these because we've been sitting a while. Okay, we're going to do circle teaching. I don't know that it makes any sense to have the camera on everybody doing it because I can't focus on each individual. But what's going to happen is we're going to go from person to person. One person do sun A, the next sun A is next sun A, then a B and a B and a B, and then the 2 forward folds and triangles. And Each person's going to do something. So wish you were here. Catch you afterwards. We'll do more pranayama and breath work and stuff afterwards.
Look at this one. I mean, you're in the parking lot, which is like not a beautiful environment, and
Yeah.
I was able to zone right in.
Right.
And I find like walking around the subdivision to just feel like so cookie cutter, like it makes me not want to walk, and I think I could do this and like just not look and just like focus
Yeah.
in, you know.
This is all focus, out of focus. I'm trying to get it to focus in on me. I don't know what has to happen. Huh? How about the rest of you guys? How did it feel to do a walking meditation?
I heard the ocean and it smelled lovely.
Cool. I don't know why this is out of focus, Jazz.
Do you want me to just the light? I feel like it responds to the light.
Yeah, it's like a distance thing. It's just, it has an autofocus and oh, that worked. Okay, cool. It was fine before though. Anyway, okay, so that's walking meditation. I have found that like on Sunday mornings before my big class, I often will go on the trail and do walking meditation. And initially my mind is wandering, I wonder what my parents are doing, my kid is being a jerk, just whatever's going on. And, what am I going to teach? And I start to think about 100 different things. As soon as I bring in a mantra and I focus like just sort of tunnel vision and turn my phone on airplane mode, whatever comes in front of me comes in front of me. I don't find myself needing to look all over and assess my environment. And it's very peaceful. And I just get in the right headspace. And then whatever I'm going to teach just kind of comes up and out. And it's not forced, And I feel like, to me, that's a more natural teaching style for me. In time, it may be for you too. Okay, so we did alternate nostril breathing. We did Ujjayi Pranayama. We're going to do a couple of others. This is called Kapalabhati, and it means skull polishing. So it's supposed to make the inside of your skull shiny and bright. Who wouldn't want that? Okay. All right, so you got to sit up. Sorry, Kate. And this is going to be a sharp exhale through the nose only. And the inhale kind of comes naturally. So if you put your hand on your belly and go, you'll notice the inhale kind of happens automatically after the sharp exhale, yes? And the way this is going to go is we'll take 2 deep inhale and exhales, then 20 sharp exhales, then 2 deep inhales and exhales, and then you hold. And so you'll take a deep, on the last one, it's a deep inhale, chin tucks, bandhas lift, and you hold. And then look up into your third eye. And then when you just can't hold anymore, you let go. Okay? So there's this idea with the chakra system and the energies of the body to bring them into alignment where you're kind of compressing all the energy, like from the crown of the head to the pelvic floor. Like the chakras are all activating here. Okay? Do you need more outside time? Okay. It's okay. It's all right. So everyone, deep inhale, as full as you can. Sip in as much air as you can. Exhale, all out, like all out. Again, deep inhale. Deep exhale. Normal inhale, we'll do 20 sharp exhales. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Inhale as fully as you can. Tuck your chin, lift your bandhas, and look up at your third eye as long as you can. When you're done, open your eyes. You hear the voice in Kate's head. Who needs mushrooms when I got this? Right? Just I'll look at her face. She's like, this is good. How'd you guys all feel with that one? Rebecca's a little lightheaded and loosey-goosey. Okay. Is the inside of your skull polished? How'd it feel?
I've always thought like kind of like I remember in hot yoga they use
Yeah.
I really have to focus.
Well, in hot yoga, I think they use Bastrika, which is inhale, in and out really fast. This is just the exhale.
Right.
We'll do Bastrika next, but this is Kapalabhati. So,
What's that?
well, how'd you feel? Yeah, it's kind of a head rush, but I think also too, it's about oxygenation. Like it really, when you take that big deep in, you're exhaling all the sort of CO2 out a little, not all of it, but more of the CO2 out. At any point in time, we have like 20, 25% CO2 in our lungs. The more we can get it out, which is a poison. If you only breathed in CO2, you die, right? It's a poison in our lungs. So it's our exhaust essentially from like a car. But when you can get more of it out, more oxygen in, you're more oxygenating the blood and you just feel better. Like, and how much does cancer like fresh oxygenated blood? Not much, or cells, not much. So breathing practices are really, really good. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing again, but with 30 sharp exhales, and we'll do a third set with 40, okay? So, deep inhale, deep exhale. In, out. In like a normal amount, and then 30. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. One more of those. Then a big inhale and hold. Chin tucks in, bandhas lift, look up at your third eye. Good. Good, good, good. Innovate's still there. All right, good.
Just trying to see how long I can hold it.
Longer than everybody. Good lungs, good lungs. All right, we'll do this one more time. And we'll do 40 sharp exhales this time. And this is the kind of practice that you can build up and up with. And the thing to do is just sort of experiment with it. Just, well, what is this doing for me? How does this make me feel? You'll be surprised at just through your experience what it does for you. But if you're going to do it, like do it every day for a week or 2 weeks and see what happens. And then you can teach from that place. Yeah. All right. So big inhale, big exhale. Big inhale and exhale. Inhale normal amount, and we're going to do 40. Big inhale. Big exhale. Again. Good. Big inhale, then hold. Lock all the bandhas. was that one? Okay. All right. So you can see how it can build, what it can do. All right. Bastrika is breath of fire, and this is where the inhale and the exhale are equally strong. So it's, if you have a clogged nose, it's not as easy. And this builds up heat. So try to do like just 20 of those and just notice what happens to your body temperature. Sweating? I'm feeling it. Do you? Yeah. Quick heat builder, right? So if you're sitting there cold out there, this is a great way to build heat. The next one's Brahmari. This is always a fun one. It's called honeybee breathing. So you inhale to the sound of the male bee and you exhale to the sound of the female bee. So the sound is like a snore, like a, and the exhale is a, and you imagine the sound coming out the third eye, like a, but you gotta do something with your hands. So your forefinger and middle finger are gonna, or your ring finger and middle finger go on the eyes gently. The forefinger is on your forehead. The pinky finger is on your cheeks. And the thumbs take the, the tragus, that little piece of cartilage by your ear. Your thumbs push the tragus into the ear so that you can't hear anything. Yep, ha ha. So inhale to the sound of the male bee, like a big snore. Don't say you don't know what snoring sounds like. And then exhale, imagine it going out the third eye. Do that again. Can let it go. And if you start to get giggly, that's okay. That's normal. And you can release. Yeah, we're done.
It felt so strong.
Yeah. I feel like it's really good for the sinuses, like sinus clearing. Like when you push on your eyes, forehead, cheeks, this is all sinus areas. And the ears, I don't know what the hell that does.
No, it helps hear it more.
Yeah. Yeah, totally, right? It's a very powerful thing. So sometimes if I've got like sinus pressure, I'll do that and I'll notice a release.
I feel a bit cold, like stuck right here.
Okay. There's two others. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to record, like take this piece of the recording because you're not writing any notes. And I'm going to try to cut it out and then send you all a copy of it because I think it'll be helpful. Nauli Kriya is the next one. Before an Ashtanga practice, this is a traditional practice, also for your gut. So if you've got upset stomach stuff, this is super helpful. And what'll happen is you'll exhale all the air out of your lungs like a shh, and then close your throat, but try to inhale. So here's one way to kind of get the diaphragm will lift. So the way that kind of works is everyone blow out all the air, close your nose with your hand, try to inhale. You feel how the diaphragm lifts? Okay, so you'll be lifting and dropping the diaphragm. Okay, but you don't have to hold your nose. You'll just close your throat, right? Like if you're holding your breath, you've closed your throat. Okay, so you're going to use that muscle, not the hands and the nose. All right, and the way it'll work is, just so you can see my stomach, you'll lean forward, you'll take a deep inhale, deep exhale, and then lifting and dropping. Yeah, you're gonna stand up and lean forward like this. It's just if my shirt's loose, you can't see it. And as I've gained weight over the years, it's not so attractive. So take a deep inhale. All the air out, and then try to inhale. And the stomach will lift and drop. And then you can take a deep breath and stand up when you're ready. And you can't do that anymore. You feel that in the gut? So this is so the diaphragm is actually massaging the internal organs. And that might help with some movement. No farting in the classroom. Step outside if you get a, break wind. So normally before Ashtanga practice, you would do 3 sets of this. This would be a traditional, this is how we always started in Ashtanga. There's a guy named Matthew Darling who doesn't live here anymore. Yeah, he's in California. That's okay. Anyway, he lives in California now. And he was the only one locally certified by Patabi Joyce to teach Ashtanga. So when I lived in Royal Oak, 3 days a week, I was at his place, 6:30 a.m. And this is how you started. You started with Nauli Kriya, you started with a mantra, started with then sun salutations. That was the traditional beginning. That's all he taught. So we'll do this one more time. Again, take a deep inhale, deep exhale, and then lift and drop, lift and drop. And that should move some stuff around. Yeah? Are you all feeling this? And your mom ran to the bathroom. So clearly it works. Okay, we can sit down. We will do one more pranayama practice. And this is very non-yogic, and it's by, hi.
It's okay to leave that open, someone just reminded me.
Yeah, it's fine, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Claire. See ya. This is by a guy named Wim Hof. Maybe you know who Wim Hof is? They call him the Iceman. He's Danish, yeah. So he's the guy who sort of turns everyone onto the ice baths. He's like the dude. And Wim Hof also has a breathing practice. And you'll do this lying on your backs. It'll be 25 really deep inhales and exhales. And on the 25th exhale, instead of holding on the in breath, like inhaling and holding, you'll exhale everything out and hold on the out breath. So it's a little bit different. And the idea is to build up your anaerobic respiration. But what it does is it helps get all the CO2 again out of your system, and then, which again helps for fighting cancer and has all these other benefits. So, and the breath can be through the nose or the mouth, it doesn't really matter. And somewhere around the breath 10 to 15, you'll feel tingly in your extremities. That's adrenaline, so don't worry about it. Yeah.
Can you say that one more time? Sorry, what we're supposed to do, or you're gonna walk?
I'm going to guide you through it. Yeah. So you can extend your legs out. And I don't know how long your mom's going to be, so.
We've done Wim Hof before, I think.
Oh, cool. All right. So deep inhale, deep exhale. I'll count the breaths for you, so you don't have to worry about it. Inhale. And these are really full as you can. Exhale. So belly really pops out when you inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Really full breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Try to sip in a little more and empty a little more as you can. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. That's already 10. Keep going. In. Out. In. We're doing Wim Hof. Out. In. Keep going. out, in, out, in, out. That's 15. Keep going, everybody. In, again, really pop the belly out, out, in, and out, in, out, again, again. Okay, that's 20. So 5 more, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Take 2 more on your own. And again, on the last out breath, hold on the out breath as long as you can. When you're done, you'll breathe normally. When you're done, you guys can come up to seated. How was that? Anyways, got big lungs.
When we're supposed to go in through our nose and out through our mouth? or
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Kate, you all right? You sure? She's like, I like Kapalabhati better. Yeah, this is a different one. This is a different kind of thing. But there are studies done on this. There's MRIs done in people's bodies doing this. Wim Hof's got all kinds of science on this thing, and there's a real value in just longevity and health. So if let's say part of your practice is you're going to do a Wim Hof thing and maybe one of the other alternate nostril breathing, a 3 to 5 minute meditation and some sun salutations in the morning, 15, 20 minutes max. That's solid practice. It's about the consistency of doing it. And then over time, like, oh, I'm going to go longer. All right, go longer. But if you had something like that, it's like the prescription for good health. That's all I can tell you.
So if it starts with, which one?
Oh, I would do a breathing practice. I guess I would do a breathing practice first. I would do an asana practice and then a meditation practice. That's the order I would do it in, because the asana practice will get the body ready for sitting. When you're more stretched out and feeling stronger in your core and awake, meditation's easier than if you just roll out of bed and you're like, I'm gonna meditate now. Does that make sense? That would be, to me, like an ideal morning practice. It doesn't have to be long, it doesn't have to be real involved. And you've got multiple meditation practices and multiple breathing practices, and just sun salutations is enough. Anything beyond that, it's like bonus, but 3 A's and 3 B's, done. It is enough to transform somebody's life, just as a starting practice. It really, really is. So